In this video, I'm going to share a case study of some work that my colleagues and I at Hook & Ladder Digital did for a real estate developer that resulted in 5,000 leads in the last 12 months using Facebook ads. If you're interested in learning more about Hook & Ladder, or if you're a real estate developer looking to find a great partner, there's a link in the description to learn more. So first, let's talk about the tools that we use. It's pretty basic. We're going to need access to a Facebook page, a Facebook ad account, and a Facebook ads manager. Sometimes we'll use landing page software like Unbounce, ClickFunnels, or WordPress. Other times we'll just stick to using Facebook lead forms, and we'll talk more about that in a moment. We'll need tools to create the lead magnets that we're getting people to opt in for, so you can use simple word processing tools like Microsoft Word, Google Docs, or Google Slides. We're using Zapier to set up all the marketing automation, and ActiveCampaign for email marketing. Next, let's talk about some of the winning offers that have helped us generate these leads, why they work, and how you can create them yourself. So first of all, what is an offer? This is the thing that your lead is opting in for in exchange for their information. We call this a lead magnet. What you want to do is think about some of the information or knowledge that you have, or the resources that you have access to, and think about how you can package that in a way that somebody would be willing to provide their information for. So some of the lead magnets that have worked well for this real estate developer are virtual tours, floor plans, and investors guides. So our virtual tours are like a 3D interactive tour where you can click around and navigate through the unit of this particular real estate development, but you don't need to be that fancy. You could just do like a 3D tour, so like a video camera tour. Maybe it's you on your smartphone taking a selfie video, giving a tour of your real estate development or a particular unit in that development, or it could just be B-roll footage of your real estate development without you in it, and then maybe you can have some voice or text overlay on top of that. The reason this works well is because nowadays people like to shop online for houses, at least at the very start of their home buying journey. Although most of the time it's just low quality photos or over edited photos, and it's hard to really understand what it's like to experience that particular property. So a video tour or a virtual tour really lets them dive into that property and see in closer detail, what it's all about. The second offer is a floor plan, which is literally just a PDF with a blueprint floor plan, as well as some other information about your property, like the square footage and whatnot. This one's interesting because if you think about it, someone who's opting in to receive a floor plan, which isn't really an interesting piece of information, they're probably going to be relatively of high intent, or at least seriously considering buying a home in the future. Whereas with a virtual tour, you might get people opting in just for the sake of looking at a nice looking home. Next, let's talk about our creative, which are the photos or videos we're using in our ads. So we use a mixture of photo ads, carousel ads, which is just like a slideshow of images, and video ads. And with real estate development, it doesn't have to be super fancy. If you want to make your creatives congruent and relevant to your paid offer, but a lot of times your paid offer is not going to be something specific that's going to require wildly different creative, meaning you can just have nice photos and videos of your real estate development, high quality photos that display the unique selling features of your property. So what is it about your property that makes it unique and makes people want to live there? Is it in close proximity to something like the transit? Does it have a really beautiful view of the city? Is it something about the architecture or the interior design? Video ads are really great because you can communicate a lot more information, and what you want to do is think about the perspective of your audience. What do they want to know? They want to know what it's like to experience living in that property. So don't just take footage for the sake of footage. Just try and think about it through the lens of your audience. What is it that they want to know about your property, and how can you show that to them? Next, let's talk about copywriting. So copywriting refers to the headline, the body text, and the description of your ads. What you want to do here is really focus on the benefits of choosing your real estate development rather than just the features that you offer. So if you have, a large square footage, you can mention the square footage, but that's really not why people care about square footage. What they care about is having a lot of space to live in. So when you're writing your copy, think about it from the perspective of your audience. Again, this is a common theme. What is it that they're getting out of it? What are their benefits? And how can you paint a very clear picture and explain to them why that development is better than the other ones? Now, it's important that we're creating ads that capture attention, because if you think about it, especially on Facebook, people are not there to look at ads or to search for real estate. They're there for social purposes, to like, share, and comment on their friends and family's Facebook posts. So what you want to do when your ad appears is have something that really captures their attention. And you achieve this by having a compelling creative and by having copy that really draws their attention in. Start by explaining a mistake that they're making, then talk about the consequences of that mistake, introduce your solution, which is a new way of doing it, and then the benefits of doing it that way. Next, let's talk about the post-lead process. So once a lead is generated on Facebook, what happens to it? Where does that lead go, and how does it get there? Whether you're using Facebook lead forms or a form on a landing page, the process really is the same. For us, it's using Zapier. So Zapier is just a tool that we use to connect multiple applications together and automate that post-lead process. So the way that Zapier works is you have a trigger event, which basically listens for new leads to be generated in a particular Facebook page from a particular lead form. Once that lead is generated and it triggers this Zap, then the following actions occur. So in this case, you can have that lead added into ActiveCampaign, or you could also have it added into Google Sheets or into another CRM if you're using one. You could also send an automated text or email notification to yourself, your team, or to your client. This could help them quickly follow up with new leads as they come in. There's lots of different ways that you can configure Zapier and use it to set up automation and notifications, but this is the most reliable tool that has the most integrations that we use to do this. What also happens after they're added into ActiveCampaign, which is an email service provider, we have an automated email sequence, a nurturing sequence, so it's like 12 emails long and it gets sent over the course of multiple weeks, just communicating some more of the benefits of living at this particular real estate development. Also encourages them to book an appointment with the sales team. The sales team does get a notification when they're added into the database as well, which allows them to follow up with them quickly. So lastly, let's dive back into the Ads Manager and take a look at some of these results. So this is this particular client's ad account for the last 12 months. You can see that we generated over 5,000 total leads. That's a combination of lead generation objectives and conversion objectives optimized for leads. With an average cost per lead of $12, you can see that that varies quite a bit. This is going to depend on so many factors, but some of the big ones are the marketing objective that you select, and the offer obviously is going to play a big role in this as well. So over a 12-month period, we're testing a lot of different offers, a lot of different lead magnets. We're constantly putting in new creative and copy. You want to keep it fresh, and you want to be testing new things so that you can see what people are responding well to. So typically how the user journey works is we'll generate the lead, they'll receive their lead magnet, then they'll be added to an automated email sequence where we'll send them a bunch of information and value props about the real estate developer. And then inside those emails, we'll have calls to action where they can book an appointment to speak with the sales team. If they book that appointment, they go in person and they can actually take an in-person tour of the property. Our email campaigns are also set up now to utilize lead scoring. So whenever people are clicking on certain links that have high intent or that we deem to be of high value, then their contact in our ActiveCampaign account are given a certain lead score to signify that they're potentially of higher value or closer to making a purchase decision. We use that information to help us kind of filter and understand who the sales team should be focusing and prioritizing their follow-up efforts with. Now, from the first point of contact when we generate a lead to the moment that they make an offer, that process often takes multiple months. And if you think about the home buying journey, somebody who is close to buying a home in the next month or so, they're probably already closely working with a real estate agent. They probably already have a few real estate prospects, like homes that they're close to closing on. So it's unrealistic to assume that you're going to collect the attention of those people. You might get a few, but it's not realistic to assume that the majority of your lead generation efforts are going to be attracting those type of people. More likely than not, the lead magnets you're offering are going to be of value to and relevant to people who are earlier on in their home buying journey, people who are just starting to collect information. So that means that they're probably not going to be buying a house until, several months from now. But that's a really great opportunity because you get the chance to engage with and build a relationship with these people before anybody else does. Oftentimes before they've even talked to a real estate agent or a mortgage broker or anything like that. So you have a really great chance to be the first person to help aid them on their home buying journey. So with this particular client, we also did some in-person events. There was one in March in 2019, which is before this ad account is filtered, but that resulted in over 20 offers being made on a real estate development. After the success of that event, we launched another in-person event in September of 2019, and we did some lead generation for that, used email marketing to try and get people to attend it, and that resulted in over 30 offers on that particular development. We also helped them launch a promotional campaign to their existing email database. So once the leads are generated, they are added into their email database. And a couple months ago, they offered a promotion exclusively to the people on their email list, and that resulted in 10 units being sold in the month of February alone. So if you're a real estate developer on the fence about lead generation and Facebook ads, it's definitely something that you should consider exploring. This particular client was in a city of 1 to 2 million population, so not a massive city. I've personally seen success on a much smaller scale in smaller cities as well, so there's definitely opportunity. I hope you gained some value from this video. And like I said, if you're interested in learning more about Hook and Ladder and some of the work that we're doing, there's a link in the description below to go and check us out. Thanks for watching.